Guys, we have a big breaking news coming out. US President reacts to report of sending US B-1 bombers to Venezuela. Now, it seems like that information is not accurate, and the US President is responding to that. Let's see what's going on here, guys. Once again, like the video, subscribe, hit that notification bell, guys. Thank you so much for your support. So the president denied a report published Thursday by the Wall Street Journal that US B-1 bombers were sent near Venezuela as tension escalate with the nation led by Nicholas. Now, the journal reported that 2 Air Force B-1 bombers flew near Venezuela just days after another U.S. warplane conducted an attack demonstration close to the South American country. The newspaper added that 2 Lancer bombers departed from Dice Air Force Base in Texas and flew near Venezuelan territory while remaining in international airspace, citing a U.S. official and flight tracking data. The U.S. president said in part, "No, that's not accurate, but we are not happy with Venezuela." Alright guys, before I start, for those of you that want to send us letters or prayer requests, you can send it to me, US Santiago, or my wife Jessica Santiago at 3432 US Highway 19, number 2, Holiday, Florida 34691. Alright, let's see what's going on here, guys. Once again, there's a lot of information coming out when it comes to nation against nation and kingdom against kingdom. The US president responds came as he and cabinet members discuss efforts to tackle the gangs and transnational criminal gangs, an effort that has been given as the reasoning for targeting boats allegedly carrying product headed for the U.S. in and around the Caribbean in recent weeks. Now, the operation formed one of the biggest military operations by U.S. in the region since the 1960s. You got Pete Hegseth and the U.S. president. So, president announcement on anti-gang force. So these are very important information here, guys. Very important information. It says here on Wednesday, the U.S. military carried out its 9th strike against an alleged of the vessel, taking 3 in the Eastern Pacific Ocean. Defense Secretary of War Pete Hegseth said, marking an expansion of the Trump administration campaign against the gangs in South America. Pete Hegseth said the strike followed another event Tuesday night in the same region that has taken 2. Both operations were conducted in the Eastern Pacific, a shift from the 7 earlier U.S. strikes that targeted vessels in the Caribbean Sea. Now, the series of strikes, which began last month, has left at least 37 gone. 37. If the U.S. were to begin strikes maneuvers on Venezuelan soil, it will mark a major shift in U.S. president efforts to oust Nicholas, whom the U.S. administration has called a... I'm going to skip that name there. It says here, per the journal, the 2 B-1 Lancer took off from Dias on Thursday and flew near Venezuela in international airspace. The aircraft can carry 75,000 pounds of bombs, but can also be used for maritime surveillance. Now, we did talk about this earlier today. So the U.S. Commander-in-Chief denied. He denied the report, but said, "We are not happy with Venezuela for a lot of reasons." He said that strikes by land couldn't be next. He mentioned this today. Once again, the president said that strikes by land could be next. Look out. Saying that the White House would definitely go to the House and Senate to tell lawmakers about it, but that he did not necessarily think he needed their permission for a formal declaration of war. You do need their permission for funds, but I heard that a president could go into war without telling them anything, and then after 3 months, when he needs funds, he has to go back to them and say, hey, we need funds. It comes as part of a wider effort by the administration to tackle the gangs, with Pete Hegseth explaining that taking control of the sleeping giant and Mexico border was also a vital factor in stemming the flow of illicit drugs into the sleeping giant that contribute to many passing away. I'm just going to highlight this. My condolences and prayers goes out to the families and friends that lost their loved ones. All right, so the U.S. commander praised the work of a combination of federal agencies that have been working to tackle the gang organizations in recent months after designating multiple of these gangs as foreign, organizations, which allows steeper penalties for those connected to the group. U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi said federal law enforcement was working. Give me a second. I skipped something here. So Pete Hegseth and the U.S. president compared the gangs to Al Qaeda. With the defense secretary promising to hunt down leaders of the group. Oh man. Attorney General Pam Bondi said federal law enforcement was working hard to track down these gangs and manufacturers across the country, while also counting a large amount of product taken off the streets in recent months. Now she, Donald, and others at the table at the White House said they had acted quickly to undo damage done by Joe administration. While these product, let me highlight it, related passing have spiked in recent years, the Joe, who struggle with the flow of these products. He didn't struggle. He left the doors open. And that's it. Millions came in. All right, so struggle with the flow of these. Man, I'm gonna skip a lot of this stuff here, but again, Donald comes in. He closed the door. That's all you got to do. Close the door. But Joe allowed it to be open. He actually stopped the construction of the southern barrier. So what people are saying. So the Colombian Ministry of Foreign Affairs, in a statement previously shared with Newsweek, said Colombia calls on the U.S. Gov to cease these strikes and urges it to respect the rules established by the international law. The Gov reiterates its call to the U.S. to engage in dialogue through diplomatic channels to clarify such situation and to adopt comprehensive and effective strategies to continue the joint fight against these gangs in the region, as we have done for decades. This is something that should have been done decades ago. But again, we did have some Looney Tunes running the sleeping giant. I believe a lot of them were getting money in their pockets, letting this happen. Defense Secretary Pete on Thursday said our message to these foreign organizations is we will treat you just like we have treated the Al Qaeda, who. We will find you. We will map your networks and we will hunt you down and we will, and those are some very, very shocking messages right there by the Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth. Once again, you have, the Mexican president, Claudia. During a press conference today, she said, there are international laws that dictate how authorities must act in case of these illegal product or weapons transport in international waters. And we have made this clear to the U.S. Gov. Woman, you probably getting paid. So what happens next? Well, the U.S. Commander-in-Chief suggested that operation will increase in the Caribbean and the Pacific in the coming days and weeks. So once again, the Caribbean and the Pacific, promising to take out those who seek to bring these products into the sleeping giant. Man. Give me a second here, guys. So yeah, you got a lot of people talking about it. So it says here, U.S. President says land action in Venezuela is next. The U.S. Commander-in-Chief on Venezuela land operation. I think we're just gonna... What? Hold on. I think we're just gonna... I'm gonna skip that name. People that are bringing these products into our sleeping giant. They are gonna be like... Again, these are words coming out from the Commander-in-Chief. He's the one that's saying these words here. This is some very disturbing message. Here's another one. Speaking earlier at the White House about a recent strike by the sleeping giant armed forces against the drug operated by the gangs out there, the U.S. Commander-in-Chief said the land is going to be next. Ooh, stop it, Donald. Stop it. You gotta take it easy here, Donald. You got the Secretary of War and then Attorney General and the U.S. commander in the middle. Donald said the land is going to be next, suggesting military strikes soon against land targets in Venezuela. Wow. And he said, you know, I have to go to Congress and Senate to let them know. But again, I don't have to do it. I could just do it, you know, just give the green light. Alright, guys, so this is where we at right now. I will keep it updated with all this news. Hold on, give me a second here. Why does this look... It look like the 70s. Come on, Venezuela. I know you guys have some good cameras out there. Okay, so Venezuela is saying, we know the CI, you know what, is present in Venezuela. Nicholas Defense Minister Padrino, this is the same man that was hiding in the bunker, ready to avoid and counter the military warnings and protect country internally from any act of destabilization. Now, again, guys, Venezuela has put out a very important message. They have 5,000 of the Russian missiles across Venezuela active right now. So they put out that message yesterday. Alright, so this is where we are right now, guys. I will keep you updated when it comes to nation against nation and kingdom against kingdom. The U.S. commander said the land is next. We need to pray for many, many innocents out there. Now, Nicholas, he's going to start using all those elderlies and all those, you know, he's just going to throw them in the front line, which is very, very, again, just pray for them. And there is an island out there, the Margarita Island, and it seems like there was some plane heading towards that region. And that's where the most powerful people go to when it comes to, you know, stuff hitting the fan. But that island's not going to be safe, knowing that the sleeping giant could drop some hammer on that thing. But again, this is where we are right now, guys. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Till next time later. Peace.